Everybody knows that Yachts is one of my favorite bands of all time. And on this episode, I'm going to show you two great additions to my collection. One of them is just the ultimate collectible. So stick around.
New from K-Tel Records, 22 explosive hits.
Hey everybody, it's me, Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie. On this episode of CD Junkie, I am going to show you two great items that I received over the course of the last year or so. But let me preface it with the fact that I'm going to promote the band Yachts at any given opportunity. This fantastic set includes all of their previously released recordings that's available on Cherry Red. Great if you love new wave, power pop, and intelligently written pop music. Now I've got two collectibles to show you here. One of them I used to own, we're talking 40 something years ago, and I received this in the mail just the other day from my friend John Borack. You might know him as a music journalist and author, and of course a music fan. He recently bought a collection of buttons, pins, whatever you want to call them, and one in that collection stood out, and he had to send it to me. I used to own this, and I'm so glad to own it again. This is an original Yachts pin. See, because all of my stuff, you know, for years, I'm one of those guys who love stuff. But if somebody comes along and says like, "Oh, I don't have that," I will gladly hand it to them, thinking to myself, "Well, I'll just pick it up for myself again when I find it," and then I never find it again. In fact, there was one time I went and saw Squeeze, and I had a Squeeze button on my shirt that Glenn Tilbrook didn't have, so I handed it over to him, and I was not able to find it since. But at least it went to a good place. But if that original Yachts button isn't exciting enough, I have a collectible that I have not even seen yet. It has been sitting in a box, and I've been waiting for the right opportunity to show it to you. Now, here's a little bit of information for you. Now, the first album was the album I showed you right before the credits that's hanging up on my wall there. Well, this is the band's second album, called Yachts Without Radar. Now, this is the UK version. The American version didn't have this little window down here at the bottom where you can remove the LP sleeve like that. And I always thought that was a great picture of the band. Now, there's something I want you to focus on in this picture. The gentleman there with the red sneakers is Henry Priestman. He is, of course, great musician, great songwriter. He went on to make music with It's a Material, The Christians, and a lot of other bands. But there's a reason why I'm focusing on a certain part in this picture here. Now, a lot of people love to collect everything they can by their favorite artists, you know, 7-inch singles, handbills, ads in magazines, 12-inch singles, albums, cassettes, 8-tracks, whatever they can get their hands on, they'll collect. I know people who actually own garments originally worn by, let's say, Jimi Hendrix. I know somebody who owns one of Jimi Hendrix's jackets, you know, the sort of cut-off frilly things, and it's just been amazing to see that up close. But me being a Yachts fan for 40-something years, it's been a long journey for me, as I've always shared my love of this band, and that has not gone unnoticed by the band members. So I have a box here that I'm going to show you. I'm not going to show you the address or anything, and I've been sitting on this for a while, and I'm opening the box now. This came all the way from England, but this is very unique to me because, you know, this picture that I showed you earlier is a part of my rock and roll history. A band that's very important to me, just like the Jam and the Clash, and a lot of these bands are important to me and other people. But here, this is the first time I'm going to be seeing these. These are the actual sneakers or tennis shoes, whatever you want to call them, worn by Henry Priestman on the inner sleeve of Yachts Without Radar. These shoes traveled with Henry for all that time. I'm actually going to get some sort of shadow box and put these on. This is the first time I'm looking at them, to be perfectly honest. But these are that pair of sneakers that I've seen on that album cover for 40-something years, and it's pretty darn amazing. I have to say thank you to Henry Priestman, who also included a note here, but I won't read that for you. But it's interesting because it's actually a postcard, a Nick Lowe postcard. So talk about pop history. A Nick Lowe postcard signed by Henry Priestman from Yachts, complete with a pair of his, as he says in the note, trainers. We call them sneakers or tennis shoes or whatever. This is pretty amazing to me. Yachts were such an important part of my life, and it's amazing to actually own a piece of this history. And I will cherish this forever, or at least until tomorrow. So anyway, that's it. This is my piece of yachts history. Do you own an item from one of your favorite artists? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe to ring that bell for future notifications. And until the next time, remember me. I'm Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie.